July 7th here. I've been watching the community over the last couple of days and seeing people's reactions to the new review scores that are coming out for the Gears of War remaster and the review scores for Until Dawn, the new PS4 exclusive that is essentially a Heavy Rain / Beyond Two Souls style of game, but it's a horror game, so you're basically controlling a horror movie. And I guess GameSpot gave it a higher review score than Gears of War, and some of you Xbox are apparently a little upset about that. I find this amusing for a number of reasons. One, they're two totally different style of game. Okay? If you really wanted to compare it to something else on PlayStation, I guess the best one out of this year that you could compare it to would be the Order 1886, since it's also a third-person cover shooter. And as you'll recall, the scores for it were not exactly the best because of how much of it was cutscene and how little of it was actual shooting. So maybe you should compare Gears of War's 7 from GameSpot to the 5.9s and 6s that the Order 1886 was getting back in February, and feel a little bit better about yourselves, since those scores seem to matter so much to you. Because this is not really a valid thing to even get bent out of shape over. Why would you ever compare a third-person cover-based shooter with a point-and-click adventure? I mean, you might as well compare Halo 5 to the remake of King's Quest. I mean, what the fuck's the matter with you people? Seriously, what is the matter with you people? It's a point-and-click adventure game, and you're comparing it to the scores on Gears of War. I mean, if you're really that bent out of shape, why don't you go to Metacritic, where Gears of War's Metacritic score is up in the 8s, and Until Dawn has a 7.9. See, Gears of War is winning. Don't you feel better now? Aren't you more at ease now? Isn't everything more right with the world for you now that you know that your third-person cover-based remastered shooter is getting a higher score than a point-and-click adventure title? Has that made your day? I certainly hope it has. We won't even get into the fact that when The Last of Us Remastered came out and it was scoring such high scores that you relentlessly hounded it for being a game that didn't need to be re-released, that PlayStation 4 was getting nothing but remasters. Why? And and they did the same thing with God of War 3, another game that was getting high scores, and you complained the same thing about that. But then just within the last 30 days or so, you've had Rare Replay, which you kissed the ass of, and you've had Gears of War. And if you'll recall, when the God of War 3 was remastered, what was it that y'all were complaining about? Why doesn't it have all 3 games in one package? That's a ripoff where you're only having to pay for a rehash. You're only getting one title. And here's Gears of War, and you don't get Gears of War 1, 2, and 3. You got one title. And you're not complaining about that at all. Meanwhile, you're making fun of the Uncharted collection that's coming out that has all 3 games on it. And you wonder why we call you guys hypocrites. Oh, you guys just keep on being you, because as long as you do, I shall always and forevermore be entertained. That's all I've got to talk about today, folks. Just a brief video. You stay classy, YouTube. This is 7th.